the WWN Training Center here in Jake Sterling, a young man who has been close multiple times in his rookie year to gold, definitely earning the opportunity here tonight. We'll talk a little more about that in a moment.
Making his way toward the ring, after the officially of 275 pounds, he fights out of Sarasota, Florida. He is not your brother.
And Mike Orlando, as he makes his way to the ring here, Mike Orlando definitely of the opinion, and I understand why, that he had already become the #1 contender for that championship. And before he could have that opportunity, basically got jumped in the line by August Artois, who was victorious in the 24-karat gold opportunity, knocks Rumble back at ACW Gold and Glory 2021. Sterling, a favorite here of the WWN faithful. Mike Orlando, absolutely not. He does not care.
Doesn't care one bit. And truthfully, doesn't matter how much people cheer for you, you have to do the job in the ring. You can have 70,000 people cheering for you. It can't help you get the job done.
Two big bulls now jockeying for position. Just to give you an idea, Jake Sterling, what, 6'4", 6'5", at least?
At least, yep.
And you see Mike Orlando, similar in the height, but with more of the weight advantage, if you will. Both men incredibly muscular, incredibly strong, and very well matched. The thing that Mike Orlando, of course, has is the experience of over a decade, whereas Jake Sterling less than a year. But man, it's what a year's been. Wait, pinfall!
Without a doubt, Jake Sterling he's an athlete. He's probably one of the strongest young guys that I've seen come along in a long time. I think the one thing that he lacks is heart. And unfortunately, you can't teach heart.
Back to the end of the year, Schultz-type beatings as Orlando rolling through. It was a fatal four-way to crown a vacant ACW heavyweight champion. And Mike Orlando, so impressive throughout that matchup, was a monster. Just so happened that Sideshow and Stephen Frick, in addition to Jake Sterling, all in that matchup. And of course, as these two men again lock horns, it was a situation where that multi-man stakes, if you will, stopped Orlando from being victorious. And then when it was Orlando versus Sideshow, which is ultimately what got Sideshow and Jerry Diaz into their trouble, and versus Stephen Frick back at New Year's Classic, again, it was a case where Mike Orlando, having another man there, was the thing that stopped him. Well, tonight, this is the chance to show what can you really do, especially against a guy your size and a Jake Sterling who's improved so much in 6 months. And are you surprised at all here, Francisco Chiazzo, to see these guys really throwing it back to basics?
Oh, and it's one of those things that I enjoy seeing. You know, in the age of guys and girls trying to do so much, you know, to see guys be able to go back to basics is two guys after my own heart, whether I like them or not.
Is that an attempt at a show of respect here?
Maybe. In my opinion, stuff like this is a waste of time.
Maybe a big mistake there in the knee from Mike Orlando, knocking down and perhaps knocking out Jake Sterling as Orlando takes control of this matchup.
That's the difference between somebody who has experience versus somebody who doesn't have experience. And he just proved right there with that fist pound that he's not your brother.
And now Jake Sterling, belly-to-belly suplex on a man the size of Mike Orlando. And as impressive as that was, you just said it, Sterling learning that school of hard knocks literally the hard way. We saw that with his previous encounters with Jake Logan.
Oh, well, Jake Logan he's been brought up in the professional wrestling business. His dad runs some of the best wrestling shows in the Lone Star State of Texas, and has been around the likes of the Terry Funks his whole life. So, you know, a lot of people don't realize that. Jake Logan is
and I'm sorry to cut you off. You'll get a chance to gush over him in a bit here, but the Kamingiri followed by a forearm to the back of Jake Sterling, and somehow Jake Sterling is still on his feet outside of the ring. And the experience in that case backfiring against Jake Sterling. And tonight could be the same thing here with Mike Orlando, who I cannot believe just flew out of the ring, and Orlando's continuing the assault.
You know, and those risks, I'm not impressed with those type of risks simply because he's already blown his knee out twice over the course of the last couple of years. Why risk at this point and at this level and what he's trying to accomplish? Why would you risk something like that with those previous injuries? Stick with what brought you to the dance, do what you know, and keep sticking with those basics. It's those things like that that can cost you that match and sends Jake Sterling with that rocket ship strapped to his back. People watching this at home have no idea what it's like. People bang their head on their cabinet and almost get knocked out. Imagine getting a knee.
Pin.
Imagine getting a knee from somebody 280 pounds. I've taken them before. I hate them. It's one of those things that'll knock you in the middle of next week.
No, it's almost impossible to convey it, but right now, look at this. Maybe think a sharpshooter there, but Orlando not only fighting off Sterling, but smartly taking out the knee of Jake Sterling.
Take his knee out before he takes yours out.
And in fact, Orlando continuing that assault. He's now targeted a body part. Sterling, despite the size that Sterling has, just lost all that size, any advantage he might have had with it. You can see now Orlando not only taking stock, but taking advantage here of the damage that's been done to Jake Sterling. And you got to think here, this is where Mike Orlando is absolutely at his most dangerous.
100%. I was thinking that same thing as you started was you keep talking about experience. There's those little nuances that Mike Orlando has in his back pocket that Jake Sterling hasn't learned yet.
Pop up into that fist right there. Let's see if I was right. What do we got here?
But he doesn't have it hooked. Trevin, he doesn't have that foot hooked.
And Orlando also quickly able to get to those ropes, protecting those legs. But we're seeing, again, Jake Sterling thinking submission. But that thought may be gone as Sterling dumped into the turnbuckles.
Right on his face. Right on his face. It takes every single thing out of you. And then to follow it up with a chop like that, that's a bad Saturday night, Trevor.
No, it shocks your system. I mean, you've had it, and I've unfortunately been chopped too, believe it or not. Nowhere near as many times as you, but it's literally like a shock.
It
it's
hurts.
like a lightning bolt, and your heart, every inch of your body gets this jolt. And oh, by the way, after having the wind knocked out of you like Jake Sterling likely does, man, few people could take one of those, let alone multiple, and Jake Sterling's starting to fight back.
100%.
Huge spine buster. Can Sterling capitalize pinfall?
Textbook spine buster, but he didn't get all of it. He didn't get that leg hooked, but he's got it hooked now.
Indeed. Try and try. Third time's the charm here. Sterling
needs to sit down on the back of Mike Orlando here. He's got it hooked, but he's got to sit on the back of Mike Orlando if he's going to get a tap on this.
And expert analysis there, Francisco Chiazzo, because Sterling having so much trouble trying to hold the massive legs and body of Mike Orlando. Orlando finds his way to the ropes, stopping Sterling, chin breaker right there. Complexion of the match just changed.
And it can change just like that. On any given night, at any given second, anybody can beat anybody else.
Especially anybody's like that with a cannonball into the corner.
Ooh.
That pulls out of water now. Pinfall.
Lackadaisical cover though, Trevin.
No, and I really think that nonchalant cover was the only reason Jake Sterling was able to find the will. Not the will, I should take nothing away from that. I know he's got the will, but the ability. Because your body doesn't always want to follow your will to pull Mike Orlando off. And right now, that will might be what's powering Jake Sterling.
Oh, I guarantee it is. Lights on, nobody's home. And you're going on instinct at this point.
And that boot, nobody's home in the corner. We already see damage earlier to the knee. Release German suplex, folding up. Sterling, the momentum puts Sterling back on his feet. Big spear. Sterling fighting for dear life. And did you just see Mike Orlando rakes the face of Sterling? I don't even know if the referee noticed. And wait, are you kidding me?
Oh, he might have blew his knee out on that, Trevin.
Page out of Sterling's book, pinfall. Orlando won.
Here's your winner, Mike Orlando!
And not just your winner, your new #1 contender for the ACW Heavyweight Championship.
Hey, Jake. Hey, man. Come here.
What?
Listen, I saw that match. Tough loss.
Yeah.
But Mike Orlando was one big man. He beat the ever-living hell out of him. Listen. I'm looking to form a new group. I'm looking to get some people that I can manage. I see a lot of potential in you, man. So give me the opportunity to manage you. And next time, you won't be losing to Mike Orlando.
Listen, man, I get it, man. Something's gotta change. I'm so sick of this losing crap. Now's not a good time, all right? Give me some time. Let me think about it.
Sam, I hope you were watching. See, next pay-per-view, July 4th, you can't run from me. You can't hide. Because it's gonna be me and you in a steel cage.
What?
And Sam, if you don't show up, I talked to management. You are no longer allowed to compete in ACW. Are you ready to be in a match with a caged animal? I don't think you are. I'm ready to end your career.
Good God. I don't think Samuel C is going to deny such a matchup, but stakes now. Tyler Baker, if he's telling the truth, talk to ACW management and make so that Samuel C has to accept a cage match on July the 3rd when WWN and ACW present Pride.
Gotta show some hate just to compensate. The waste of intelligence validates and complicates all the ways we inflate.
It's a match that's been a long, long time coming, Superstar.
We have 3 huge matches coming up now. Starting with this one.
In the minds of the wealth of wrestling, they have deserved this tag team championship opportunity here in American Combat Wrestling. In a case of
You just make friends everywhere you go, don't you, Tristan? My God.
yeah, and unfortunately, Robbie K, often my broadcast partner here in WWN.
Okay.
Definitely an upgrade here tonight, Superstar Sean
Oh,
Davis.
well, you know, of course.
But I'll tell you, if you haven't had an opportunity to see a wealth of wrestling, I get the feeling they're going to be your kind of guys, especially Robbie K. Reality of the situation is
We'll see.
they did defeat the Rapture before the Rapture won the ACW Tag Team Championship, albeit a bit of a, well, the record books might say victory, but I think if you were to re-watch the video, there's a debate there about whether or not, yeah, there you go, that's the word I was looking for. Nevertheless, for months getting in the business of the Rapture. And in fact, there was a video released, get this, a video released by our friends at Wealth of Wrestling.
Really?
I'll tell you about it in a moment. And as our reigning and soon-to-be defending ACW Tag Team Champions, the Rapture, make their way to the ring. Wealth of Wrestling claiming they got the call and as though they were doing a favor to WWN and ACW.
Really?
They accepted an opportunity at the ACW Tag Team Championship. Reality of the situation was, my understanding is there were numerous lawyers involved. There were legalities pushed to limits that honestly finally just turned into the only choice for WWN officials was to say, you know what? Put up or shut up. Jump the line, get that opportunity you better win, because if you don't, you're back to the bottom of the list. And I'm going to tell you, Superstar, the Rapture have been on a roll here in WWN. 2 talented young athletes. There is a reason they have the tag team gold around their waist.
No doubt about it.
We have seen the Rapture hold gold all over the Southeast here in the sport of professional wrestling. Of course, holding.
Oh, big slaps to the face to start things out.
Not sure whose mistake it was, but right now, Rapture going right after Wealth of Wrestling.
Over the top right away.
Is Jay Sky gonna fly? No, threatening. And instead it's Richard King taking out Daniel Lacey. And Jay Sky going after, nope, Blake Banks tries to get out of the way and instead lost his head.
In a lot of ways, you can say the Rapture literally grew up here in ACW.
100%.
Yes.
Taking their time as part of Proving Ground, cutting their teeth, applying their craft. Rapture just keeps getting better and better. And we finally have a match.
I would say the first time I saw the Rapture, they were boys, and now they are men, and there's no doubt about it.
Great way to put it. And low bridge there, Blake Banks pulling down the rope, Jay Sky dumping outside of the ring, and Richard King charging Blake Banks. We got absolute chaos here, and I guess I should not be surprised. King's in trouble, but an escape by Richard King. Jay Sky now takes out Blake Banks.
I'll tell you one thing, there was no feeling out time in this match at all.
Absolutely not, and a beautiful Uranagi from Daniel Lacey takes out Richard King. And are these the legal men? I'm not even sure.
I don't know.
What are we, less than a minute formally into the match? And Robbie K already, the distraction pays off. Daniel Lacey pinning, no. Nearly pinning Richard King.
It was a beautiful cross-body press. I'm hoping that they bring it back down to basics here. You can't just keep going full impact. Whoa, just told him he's number 1. I guess he's a big fan of the Raptor.
Blake Banks swings wildly, misses Richard King, and now Jay Sky is tagged in. Jay Sky, House of Fire, catching the smaller man, Blake Banks, with ease. And Robbie K again with the distraction. You're kidding.
And doing a great job of distracting. Look at that.
Blake Banks with a sling blade pinfall. 2 count only.
Hey, you gotta say what he's doing is effective. It's very effective.
It's called 3-on-2, Superstar.
Yeah. They are playing the numbers here.
Robbie K. I'd say worth his weight in gold, but there's not a lot of weight there. Blake Banks escaping Jay Sky. Sky's a strong dude, and you're seeing it on display again.
He got caught.
Banks in trouble. Suplex from Jay Sky, beautifully executed.
Gorgeous.
Richard King was thrown out of the corner by Daniel Lacey.
Thought he tripped for a second, but that was definitely interference there, and now we're gonna get to see what the Wealth of Wrestling can do with an advantage.
The tag there to Daniel Lacey. Jay Sky's in trouble. Pop up. Tandem offense.
Double choke slam. Goes for the pin.
Not quite new champs, but you're seeing Rapture in trouble. And it was right at the moment where I was about to make the point. You're literally in action seeing the Rapture show why they are tag team champions. And just like that, Wealth of Wrestling have turned this thing around.
Keep their opponent on their side and start double teaming. Use their tag team prowess to work the members of the Rapture down.
Robbie K again getting involved. The official doesn't see it. Jay Sky hit by Robbie. Now Daniel Lacey's choking Jay Sky.
Setting him up for a suplex.
Beautiful snap suplex. And what we'd seen before,
a kip up.
Daniel Lacey kips up. We've seen the third member of the Rapture, Jarrett Diaz, in the corner before to try to thwart Robbie K. Unfortunately for Jarrett Diaz, recovering right now from appendicitis. Thankfully recovering well still. On behalf of everybody in WWN. Exactly. Get well soon, Jarrett Diaz. But tonight, no Jarrett Diaz. Robbie K out there. We got an issue. Lacey, Jay Sky crashing into one another. Both men might be down. Great answer. Daniel Lacey again in control here. Richard King in trouble, and you see Robbie K pleased with his team. Big power slam from Lacey, pinfall. And I think Blake Banks thought that was it already.
That's a really hard maneuver to pull off, too. You have to get deep under your opponent and then pivot at the right time. But it has devastating results if you can do it right, and he did. That was very impressive.
Lacey now with good placement here. Has Jay Sky away from the ropes, but also in a position where Jay's got his back to his corner. Lacey can see his partner as Jay Sky tries to fight off Lacey, but again, Lacey stopping that offensive. And Superstar, to your point, when it comes to the strength on display of Daniel Lacey, he can go, and that's the thing. Wealth of Wrestling are talented, they're just obnoxious, as Lacey pulls Jay Sky out of the ring.
One thing I don't know if you've noticed, Billy Banks has been holding his head ever since he got back, made the tag. Oh, and that didn't help things.
No, indeed, Blake Banks going straight into the steps.
But he probably suffering some sort of injury. Now he just crashed head first into the steps.
Daniel Lacey catches Jay Sky with that savate kick. You can see Richard King. And the challenge for King is if he loses his composure, it only makes it worse for Jay Sky.
Banks makes the tag. Let's see if he's recovered enough to do anything at this point.
Yeah, to your point, have been holding his head, Blake Banks.
Oh!
Gonna be holding his head again after that.
Enziguri.
Double Enzies. Heel kick as well. Jay Sky, at least for a moment, might have some separation. Can he make it to the corner to Richard King? And Jay Sky does. Richard King tagged in, up on the top, and double blockbuster. Wealth of Wrestling's in trouble.
Beautiful. Flying thrust, two flying thrusts.
Richard King, so...
Banks reverses it, but reversed again.
So impressive, given he's so young. King dumping down Banks, and you're kidding me, Robbie K distracting the official. Can somebody do something about Robbie K?
Robbie K, hey, he's doing what he's got to do to earn his percentage here.
Richard King, numbers game, finally helping Wealth of Wrestling.
He's got him up.
Trying to go back to it, but instead...
Oh, Splash Mountain, I believe you call that.
Anything you want to call it, it was effective. Jay Sky taking out Blake Banks, but again, Daniel Lacey now with a jumping knee, catching Jay Sky. It's chaos. I'm not sure who's legal. Officials giving these guys latitude. Somehow, Rapture is still in this thing. I don't think I've ever seen a match break down more here in the ACW Tag Team Division. Top prize in all of ACW's Tag Division on the line here as Daniel Lacey ascending to the top, and a double kip up behind him. He has no clue Lacey's in trouble.
No, he doesn't know what's going on. He's about to find out, though. Oh!
Moonsault into two super kicks. Rapture's in control.
I have never seen that before in my life.
And is this going to be it? Brainbuster after that kick. Pinfall. Blake Banks pushing Jay Sky into the official.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, okay? Bald is beautiful.
As they say. Oh, Robbie K is attacking Richard King.
With brass knucks, I believe. He has knuckle dusters on. He has knuckle dusters.
Wait, here's the gifted.
What?
Robbie K not only runs away, throws the brass knucks up. Wheezy chasing Robbie out of the ring, and Logan Cruz. Oh, it's not brass knucks, it's a watch.
It's a watch?
It's a watch.
Well, you know, brass knucks are illegal in the state of Florida, so, you know. But a watch still, I'm sure it's gold-plated.
Oh, it's expensive.
I think he just gifted him his watch.
Jay Sky is refusing to use the watch of Robbie K as a weapon. Logan Cruz is saying, do it, do it.
Or at least take it home with you and make a nice gift for somebody.
It's kind of funny, but I'm thinking the same thing. And wait a minute, is Blake Banks thinking the same thing?
Oh.
Banks rocks Jay Sky, no! Lacey wakes the official and not
Is
like
this it?
this, no!
Oh my God!
Here are your winners and new ACW Tag Team Champions, Well Up Wrestling!
What an upset!
So it was 1 month ago, WWN and ACW present Gold and Glory 2021. Rapture coming in as ACW Tag Team Champions. Wealth of Wrestling finally getting the championship match they have been demanding. Of course, Robbie K gets involved. No Jared Diaz in the house. Wouldn't you know we had new ACW Tag Team Champions?
I think, wasn't it? That's why we can't have nice things.
Sorry, Robbie K was, taking everything on the table off the table, and thankfully somebody just gave it all back to me, but...
Notice he didn't touch anything of mine.
No, I think Robbie K respects you unlike me, but at the end of the day, it's not about Robbie K alone. It is about the unit that is the wealth of wrestling, and it is undeniable. Wealth of Wrestling, since debuting in the World of Wrestling Network. Oh wait, hold on. Trevin, I want your eyes only watching this. Don't spill it. There you go.
Respect.
Jared Diaz just gave me his Arizona iced tea to protect.
That's respect, Trevin.
This is a Rapture that has held the ACW Tag Team Championship now multiple times. It was actually the Metro Brothers going through multiple exchanges. Rapture not only used to winning the gold, but also losing the gold. And of course, Daniel Lacey now showing off a bit here in the corner. Of course, where I was going with that is you get the mindset. When you get to the top of the mountain, you've lifted many times, sir. It feels phenomenal. You fall off the top, it sucks. You get back up, yay, you fall back off. At some point, you finally realize, you know what? I know what it takes to get there. I know that I could lose this. I'm not going to lose this. Will we see that here tonight from Rapture?
We very well could, Trevor. You're talking about two very young, very hungry teams, very talented young and hungry teams vying for the ACW Tag Team Championship. And there's things that I've seen, that I've said over the course of the last two matches. These smaller guys need to get in and get out. Hit hard, tag out. Prove my point.
And you can see right here, Jay Sky deceptively fast for his size. Blake Banks finding himself in some trouble. Wheel taken out from Banks.
This kid's moving like he's 140 pounds.
An escape session.
I don't know, Trevor. Is it a strategy session? I mean, they don't seem like they're on the same page tonight. Wow, but see, this kind of thing doesn't win championships, Trevor. This fighting on the outside, that referee counts out 10, double count out. The belts are going to stay with the champs.
And that's the situation here is there are rules. Those rules may not apply anymore for Blake Banks. He knocked out, pinfall. Nearly new champs, but no, somehow Blake Banks is still in this thing.
2 3/4. We almost had new ACW Tag Team Champions.
And you got to think, Rapture not going to be daunted. These are guys that have a plan here. Now Richard King tagged in. Richard King is in insane shape. And one in the chamber would be all she wrote, but Daniel Lacey saving things for Wealth of Wrestling.
The continuity of Wealth of Wrestling is something that's impressed me from day one.
Daniel Lacey now. No, counter by Richard King, I was about to say. Impressive. But instead, for as good as Lacey is, you're seeing the speed on display of Richard King.
Well, this is a physical contest. Things don't always go as planned. Things aren't always going to be clean. But at the end of the day, what was the end result? Bingo, bango, there's the end result.
And Gamagiri rocking Daniel Lacey, but Blake Banks tried to slow down Richard King. Kingston, but now Robbie K is on the apron. You gotta be kidding me, Robbie K. The distraction was enough. The momentum got taken from Rapture. You got to give it to Wealth of Wrestling when it comes to Blake Banks helping his tag partner. Add to a Robbie K. It's infuriating, and that sling blade there. Is this it? Pinfall. No. King's still in it.
There's a lot of fighting this kid. A lot of fighting this kid. And he's you know, the Rapture have really come into their own over the last year. Again, like I've said this whole night, we'll use this year to get ready and stay ready.
King's taken down here. Daniel Lacey tagged in, and we've seen that leg drop before. Cocky leg drop, pinfall. You see the cockiness of Blake Banks thinking it was a 3 count, had his back to his partner, and of course not even a 2 count.
Not even, it's that kind of focus. You know, sometimes you lose focus in it. It's happened to me before. It's happened to every athlete that's ever competed.
No, I'll tell you right now, Francisco, I have heard that Wealth of Wrestling have been basically on a 4-week bender celebrating becoming the ACW Tag Team Champions. I don't even know if they've been training, and I'm not taking anything away when I say that. They probably were training while drinking or partying or whatever.
He's got to dig. He's got to dig. He's got to make that tag.
Banks trying to get in. Wait, pinfall. 2 count only. The leg drop now. Flurry of momentary offense from Richard King, but the question, Francisco, is can King get to his corner and find Jay Scott?
What just happened? What's happening?
And you saw Daniel Lacey pulling down Jay Sky, and that was close. Inside the ring, pinfall. 2 count only. The neck breaker, though, from Blake Banks, expertly executed, taking down Richard King.
That right there might be the pivotal point in this match that switches it to Wealth of Wrestling and retaining the ACW Tag Team Championship.
And the tag now to Daniel Lacey, and I agree with you. I saw Blake Banks had no one in his corner, and I was about to make the point that, hey, Richard King's going to get the tag, and Banks got no one to save him, and instead, it was strategy from Lacey. Pinfall, 2 count only. Power slam from Lacey, taking down Richard King.
How much more can Richard King take? People can call it illegal. Other man on the third man out on the floor. He shouldn't interfere. In my opinion, it's smart. You're the champs. They've got to beat you. You don't have to beat them.
And you notice here, Richard King, oxygen being cut off. Daniel Lacey not only has King well placed, but you notice he's got King so that he's as far away from Jay Sky as possibly be.
And look where he positioned himself, Trevin. He positioned himself with his back to the opposing corner.
And wait, was this finally the moment? Did Richard King make the tag?
We didn't see it, Trevin.
You called it. You called it. The official, your first American boyfriend, Billy Grace, did not see the tag. And Jay Scott right now, furious because the tag doesn't count and the attack, the assault on Richard King persists. Exact opposite of Robbie K.
Polar opposite. And of course he's concerned about his partner. I'm concerned about Richard King.
Daniel Lacey flying into the corner, caught there by Richard King, but can King now finally find Jay Sky? And it looks like Lacey might have enough cognizance to stop Richard King.
Or does he?
Where are we at here? No, swinging wildly's King, and I'm telling you, Daniel Lacey, well, now I'm telling you Lacey might be out. I was about to say Daniel Lacey's so
no,
good.
Showboating, make the tag. Make the tag.
Lacey folded inside out, but Richard King used all the energy he had left to take out Lacey. Can either one of these competitors find their partner?
Listen to this crowd, Trevin. Listen to the WWN hope. They want this kid to make the tag so bad, they feel like they're in the ring with him.
And finally, the tag has happened. Both teams making the tag. Blake Banks legal, Jay Sky legal. Savant kick takes out Lacey. Black's now caught twice by Jay Sky. And you can see Banks trying to fight, but man, he's got a fresh Jay Sky hitting the enziguri. Two kicks. The third just enough finally. That was impressive.
Trevin, I don't even know what. Oh!
Shining Wizard.
He's out. Stick the fork in him, he's done.
Pin. And somehow, like a Hail Mary, here comes Daniel Lacey at the last possible second, saving Blake Banks. But Lacey dumped out of the ring.
The Wealth of Wrestling know what it's like to be tag team champions. They're consummate professionals, and they're proving it here tonight.
You got to think Wealth of Wrestling. As you just said, the unit traveled the road together so much. Both of these teams, brothers from different mothers. And if one in the chamber happens, this will be the end.
This has to be it, Trevin.
Pinfall. Robbie K pulls out Blake Banks.
Here comes the equalizer, Trevin.
What?
This is it.
Robbie K is in the wrong neighborhood. Is Robbie K saying execute me?
I think he is.
Oh my God!
And they did. Turn out the lights, the party's over. He's done. He's it. Clean up aisle 9.
But I don't exaggerate. Jared Diaz just walked Robbie K out of the building. But inside of the ring now, Daniel Lacey back to life. Is the sacrifice of Robbie K going to be successful here for Wealth of Wrestling? And I think it is. Pinfall. No, Richard King somehow kicks out.
Nope. Not happening.
You heard Jared Diaz. I don't exaggerate again. Cameras missed it. Jared Diaz walked Robbie K out of the building and tossed him out the front door.
Robbie K's tooth is in my cup, Trevin.
But again, Wealth of Wrestling.
But Diaz can't win this match for them. He can do all he can for the floor, but he can't win this match for them.
Tandem maneuver. Wait, counter. Double ace crushers. Richard King taking down Wealth of Wrestling, and now the tag to Jay Sky. Look how red the body of Blake Banks is. The beating Banks has taken. What all of these athletes have put each other through. One in the chamber connects. Is this going to be new tag champs? It is!
They did it! They did it!
Here are your winners and new ACW Tag Team Champions, the
Jalen Morris here. I've been training at the WWN TC Training Center for about 3 or 4 months now.
Hey everybody, it's WWN official Kai Douglas here at the WWN Training Center here in Newport Richey, Florida, where you can learn everything from your in-ring to your entrance. You can work on everything from referee times, working with an official, getting that real match experience, things that you can't learn at other schools.
If you've ever wanted a career in professional wrestling, it starts right here at the WWN TC. We offer a 14-month tuition. Every facet of professional wrestling business that you want to learn, we will teach. All we ask of you is when you walk through that door, you give us 100% dedication, because we're going to give you our best, and we want that best from you. 727-401-2836, give me a call. Test yourself. You want to create that inner superstar? Come see me right here at WWN TC.
With that being said, be on the lookout for me in the future.
Oh my god, that's so cool. Yeah. I would.
Tonight I'm supposed to go one-on-one with one Sideshow. The man who was on FIP and the Rapture wasn't. The man who thinks that I'm a disrespectful, smart-mouthed young guy when it turns out he's just the old head, bitter veteran. So I have this to say to Sideshow. The next time you use your pull because you run this building just to get on FIP, think about the actual talent that you're keeping from succeeding.
Wow.
Already in the ring, fighting out of the Bronx, New York, he is representing the Rapture. He is the Bodega Boy, Jared Diaz.
Background of this matchup, a match that's been on standby for about 4 months. There's nothing like a reaction for Sideshow here in the WWN WrestlePlex. Once again, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of WWN ACW presents The Tradition Continues 2021. Don't leave home without an extra ring announcer in your back pocket. Josh Johnson jumping in, filling in for Rafael Abreu, who lost his voice.
Everybody's excited. I can't imagine how the poor kid didn't lose his voice. I feel like I'm about to lose my mind. These matches have been so fantastic.
And again, as I mentioned, you see Sideshow coming right at Jared Diaz. There was an interaction between Sideshow and the Rapture on WWN Proving Ground back towards the beginning of the year. And of course, during that interaction, Jared Diaz inadvertently, and by the way, that back body drop was very inadvertent from Sideshow, but Diaz inadvertently ticking off Sideshow, basically talking about the fact that, hey, you'll win next time, buddy, after Sideshow came up short in his attempt to become ACW heavyweight champion is that wheel taken out by Sideshow and the double stomp by Diaz, and things got pretty heated between these two. And the jaw jacking, what a power slam from Diaz to the larger Sideshow. The jaw jacking between these two, Francisco, went on for months, which is why two guys that normally would come in here with maybe a bit of a smile on the face are coming in here ready to beat the crap out of each other.
Look, grudges, I'm all for holding grudges. I enjoy holding grudges. 4 months, 3 months, 4 years, 10 years, 14 years, doesn't matter. If I don't like you, I don't like you now, I don't like you 14 years from now. So it's there he goes.
Pinfall.
You better come more correct than that if you're going to beat Sideshow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Think about it. Jared Diaz, we talked about the improvement of the other two members of the Rapture, who, by the way, are at ringside. Richard King, Jay Sky becoming the ACW Tag Team Champions just a short while ago. Jared Diaz, a victory over a former ACW Heavyweight Champion like Sideshow would be huge for the career of Diaz, but right now those forearms say no.
It would be huge.
And I'll tell you right now, Jared Diaz was supposed to be a part of Golden Glory as Diaz getting taken down by Sideshow and having the wind blown out of those lungs. Diaz had appendicitis less than a month ago, had an appendix removed. Think about what shape he's in. Pinfall, not enough.
Absolutely, you can't take nothing away from the kid, but you know, and here we go. Sideshow is that uncle that you don't want drinking beer on a Sunday afternoon during your barbecue. I call him my drunk Uncle Sideshow sometimes when he comes to the training center. Even though he's not drunk, I still call him drunk Uncle Sideshow.
You know, if you're here in the WWN WrestlePlex Live, you'll get an opportunity to get drunk with Sideshow after the event. I'm really not joking, by the way. Totally fun time. There's nothing like being here in person. You can see a lot of folks having a great time here tonight. Phenomenal wrestling action, up close and personal, just like that chop from Sideshow was up close and personal to Jared Diaz.
Well, the fans are having an absolute blast. I mean, they spent, oh my goodness, Lord, jumping Jehoshaphat, Batman, that chop sounded like it hurt.
And now the snapmare. And right now, Sideshow tossed by Diaz, but that sunset flip rolling through is Diaz. 2 boots to Sideshow. Sideshow, a little bit of egress, and I don't blame him, but Jared Diaz, no respite for Sideshow and up and over. Look at Diaz, full of P&V.
He is. What? P and what?
Similar to you with that near 20 years of experience, you over 20 years of experience, and I mean that in a complimentary way. You guys can go and then some. You have the experience, you have the gas tank. Diaz has the gas tank, not the experience yet. He's going to find out that it's going to take a lot to take out Sideshow.
Well, and Sideshow, like you said, him here 20 years in the business, he knows all the tricks of the trade. And he knows the things that this kid hasn't learned yet. And that makes all the difference. Now, can Sideshow keep up? And as long as the longer this match goes, we'll be able to go? Who knows?
The boot there, catching Sideshow, but you saw a discus lariat taking out Jared Diaz, but Sideshow showing the effects of the onslaught from Jared Diaz. And as much as I complimented both of these guys and what they can do, you can only sprint for so long, Francisco. There's a 10 count here. Someone needs to answer.
That clothesline was sponsored by In-N-Out Burger.
During our intermission, something snapped in Diaz. He went right back to, you know what, I came here on a mission, and that mission may have just ended with that shoulder breaker pinfall. No, somehow Diaz still in it.
I don't know how we kicked out Trevin. I really don't. I've taken that move from Sideshow, and I woke up 4 days later.
And again, Sideshow, a staple, a legend in the World Wrestling Network, especially here, Pasco County. Can't walk 5 feet without somebody stopping Sideshow to say hello.
Absolutely.
And a Poison Rana, maybe changing everything here. Shining Wizard, is this it? No. Wow.
What a feather in the cap of Diaz to get a win over a guy like Sideshow. I mean, he might end up partying for 6 weeks after that win.
Careers can be made by moments like this, and Jared Diaz showing why he is at the level of someone like Sideshow. But now, is he taking too long here with the junkyard?
I said it earlier. Some of these guys want to look good first and win second.
Yeah, cross blocks, Bronx blocked by Sideshow, and instead, oh! The Nelson right there planning Jared Diaz, Sideshow, not only signs of life, but going for the pin here. And this time it's Jared Diaz defying that logic.
Didn't hook the leg.
But you're absolutely right, and that was what helped Jared Diaz, at least at that moment, persist. But as Sideshow plants Diaz in the corner here, we're going to see what Sideshow's got left here.
And you know, Sideshow being 240 plus pounds, he can still go with these lighter guys. That's the one thing I've always respected so much about Sideshow is his athleticism.
Diaz sees Sideshow coming, able to land and roll through, but the back fist from Sideshow may have busted a lip, if not knocked some teeth out of Diaz. Samoan drop, well executed.
I want to call that the Sideshow drop.
And I'm telling you, Jared Diaz said he wanted Sideshow. He's getting Sideshow right now, and is this going to be far beyond driven? This happens, it connects. That is it right here, pinfall. Sideshow victorious.
Your winner of this match, Sideshow!
Jared, what's going on, man?
My dude,
You good? No, I'm not good. You know why? Because I should have put that old dog down. And I lost tonight. Do you know how it feels to lose a match like that?
Yeah, bro, we know how it feels. Listen, we've been going toe-to-toe with Wealth of Wrestling, right? And today we finally got our opportunity to go for the tag team championships once again, and we put an end.
Three-time tag team champions,
Got
bro.
the titles back, man.
Come
Listen,
on, that's someone to be happy about. Forget that bald-bearded bitch, okay? Get him out of here. We don't need to be thinking about that right now. It's time to celebrate.
Listen, do that again.
That's not really cyberpunk of you to be all like, yeah, you know?
Jared, come on, look at the bright side. You went toe-to-toe with a multi-time champion, and you almost won. All right, come on, get your head up. We're the tag team champions, ACW tag team champions.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Come on, man.
Next time. What are we doing?
I'll get him next time.
What are we doing?
Let's go celebrate. We're the tag team champions. We are the tag team champions. Yeah. Let's go celebrate.
You hold them.
Give me that shit, bro. Let's go listen to Synthwave. Give me that one too.
That was kind of dumb. So.
Oh yeah, dude. Alright. It's freaking pizza time and Synthwave.
I'll just
yeah, dude.
follow you guys.
Cyberpunk time.